I love show the way I normally start my show, but y'all just missed a whole lot of behind the scenes shenanigans before this we just went on air. So shout out to my mom who's in the building, like doing things like she's showing off. I don't know. All right, so listen, how I start my show every day is I like to set the intention. So soften your gaze, allow your eyes to come to a gentle close.
What you say?
Can't hear me?
No.
Why you can't hear me? I gotta turn it up.
Earphones not on.
Is it on? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Still can't hear you.
Can you hear me? I'm gonna turn to.
I did. I'm hearing you now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Ah, sugar.
We got action.
Hello, my people. Listen, this is Nelly coming to you straight from the G Shop on Thinking Outside the Box with me. I got I don't even know how many people gonna pull up on me, but right now I got my guy, Feisty the comedian, but he's never been on my show. He haven't seen my show, so you don't know how I start my show off. But I like to set my intentions, do a brief little meditation and breathwork exercise before I come into a conversation. Is that okay with you? Mm-hmm. All right, thank you.
Yes.
So, I just want you to soften your gaze, allow your eyes to come to a gentle close. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nostrils. Unclench the jaw and allow the breath to flow freely across the lips. Take a few deep breaths as you prepare your mind and body for this conversation with a clear mind and a sound heart. No judgment, open mind, and an open heart. So now, listen, because I'm a yoga instructor, you guys, if you've been watching, you know that that's what I do. That's my foundation. I'm all about yoga and mindfulness, fitness. We got some stuff. We got to let me just get this stuff out the way. Y'all got to come to the Follow the Drip. Follow the Drip concert is going down January 8th. Jim Jones and Trina at the Met. Doors open at 4. You can get your tickets at Nomo Foundation, Marikai Hair Loft, 3 Dimension Salon, Burke Street Seafood, the G Shop, of course, and Diagnostic Cars Now, or Care Now. Diagnostic Care Now. So, got to get that out the way. Got to support my G Shop, my G family. We always doing it big over here. So many events and things going on. So Feisty, what you got going on? Because you be having some stuff going on.
How y'all doing? My name's Feisty. I'm a comedian, as she said before. But there's a lot going on with me right now. I got some things popping. I'm in a movie. It's called A Body to Kill For. Premieres March 9th, my birthday.
I saw that on IG.
Yeah, we popping with that right now. I just got casted in a YouTube series called The City. I got my March Madness get ready to come up every Friday in March. I'm gonna be holding a comedy show at Illusions Banquet Hall out Delaware County.
Okay.
Every Friday, a different comedian gonna be on there. I'm not doing no double ups. The only 2 double ups are gonna be me and Kobe Jack. That's my partner. Nice. I'm at Smokes and Jokes in Jersey next month. I'm around. I'm just doing a lot.
Listen, I see the hustle is real.
Yeah, bearded hustlers. You know what I'm saying? You got to have both to be one. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a beard. You got to be a hustler. You got to be a hustler and have a beard to be a bearded hustler.
So how did you... Hey, listen, it's a family affair. I love it. My big sis, Rise, just popped in.
Yo.
She can just show her face, wave to the people. If she wants to sit in, I would love for her to. It will always be an honor to have her cross over for a hot second.
She
love
back
her.
Right out the door.
Listen, back right out. But that's okay, because it depends on what I start talking about. Because, if I'm talking about something, then she'd be like, let me chime in. You can't help it sometimes. But, so what made you want to be a comedian? How'd you...
It started from a dare. We was down to Laugh House. This was me, my cousin, 2 of his homies. We went down there, get some drinks, BSing around. I'm like, man, them dudes ain't funny. They like, well, why don't you go up there? I'm like, I would. They're like, I'll bet you $100 you won't go up there. I'm like, all of y'all? They like, yeah. I'm like, I bet. I go to the bar. I'm like, yo, can I get a couple seconds? He like, yeah, it's open mic night. All right. I go up there. I do the open mic night. Flash 4 years later, I'm standing on the corner. Somebody pull up like, yo, why you ain't at the comedy show? I'm like, what comedy show? They like, yo, you on a comedy show at 49th and Parkside. I'm like, no, I'm not. Then my man pull up like, yeah, I told him you was funny. They gonna put you on a comedy show. I go in there. The first time I got on a big stage, they love me, and I ain't stopped since. Plus, I was always an attention whore. So You know, that's the first part about being a comedian. You got to want all the attention on you. I don't have no background singers. I'm up that joint. It ain't no Temptations without David Ruffin.
David Ruffin.
You understand me?
David Ruffin.
No question.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
You understand me? For real.
That's my mom.
Ain't nobody coming.
Listen. Hey,
okay.
The gangs are here.
Okay.
Listen. This is my son. Listen, Feisty, I'm glad to have you to sit next to this young man. This is my son.
What's going on, bro?
My son, RJ Darnell. I know him as something else, but I'm only going to give his professional name unless he chooses to do otherwise. Oh, this feels so good. So listen, he is all the way here from LA, y'all.
Okay.
It's my baby. You hear me? This is my son. He is just a phenomenal young man. And if you have been following my podcast, you know I had my youngest son up here a few weeks ago. So when I talk about village conversations, it includes my children. It includes my mother. It includes my friends. It includes my associates. It includes anybody that crossed my path that has influenced me and triggered my thoughts in any way, shape, or form. So thank you, Feisty, for fucking making me laugh, bro. Like, you are hilarious.
You know,
like, I have had the pleasure of being in your presence after the G Shop is closed, and literally we should have recorded some of the stuff that
we was on Broad Street one night, right?
Oh my God.
The material that, like, if that was a comedy show, I would have got a standing ovation. First and foremost, it was a lot going on. Like, I really felt like I had to look at my friend that night and say, you're in love.
Oh God.
Because any man carrying his woman pocketbook and don't know he carrying his woman pocketbook is really used to carrying his woman pocketbook. And I'm secure enough to carry my woman's pocketbook, but for him to be carrying the pocketbook was hilarious. And he was drunk.
It was hilarious. Like
Fast Times at Richmond High, Broad Street version.
Oh, like, and then you're just off the top quick with it. Like, it's effortless. I feel like what makes you funny is I don't think you be trying to be funny sometimes.
No,
you just
really
bust
don't.
on the truth.
No, here go the thing,
and then be like, yo, you said that, but it's true.
You be through, like, I've been through so much pain, right? People want to know, like, why am I the way I am? Because I've been through so much hurt. I can't wake up depressed no more. I done went through that storm. I feel like I'm in California under the sun right now, and it's cold. You know what I'm saying? But it don't matter because God woke me up. He gave me another chance to make it happen. A lot of people think that because they got strife in their life, right, that is the end-all, tell-all, that everything is over. This is just the start. So you got a problem, figure out how to get through the problem. And even if it ain't that deep, you got another day to make it right. It ain't one of them problems that's going to kill you. You cool. And that's what I tell people. You worried about the wrong stuff. You're not going to die if this get cut off today.
You better go.
My bad, y'all. I ain't want to show y'all I was a little intelligent. I got a little substance with me.
You better listen.
What's the day? Thursday? I got a little substance with me on Thursday. Just a little bit. I'm going to turn it back off.
Thursday. It's Thursday. Thursday, thinking outside the box every Thursday from 3 to 4 Thursday. Thursday. So go. Come on. Like, that was a word.
My bad.
I can't. We gotta get back to that, because that is what this Village Conversations is about. It's about addressing real topics, real issues, taking off that mask and shedding some light, because who knew that you was going to say that?
You want to hear something else? Parents, you're not your kid's friend. Please stop. I'm going to give y'all a quick thing so you can have an open line of communication with your child, right? Without being a friend. Because I don't need to be your friend. I need to be your guidance. And as your friend, I don't think that you're going to respect me enough. But as your parent, you're definitely going to respect me, because the same way I brought you in, the police can take you out. But that's a whole nother story. Here go the thing, right? I have something called a green light system implemented with my children. So in the green light system, they have the right to say and tell me everything they want to say without being able to have any repercussions from me and their mother. You understand what I'm saying? So in this moment, you cannot lie because the green light system will go out the window if you lie. And when I tell you, it has given me a conversation with my kids that was needed on multiple occasions. But when I say go wash dishes, you're going to go wash dishes. And when I'm talking to a grown folk, you're not going to be sitting in my mouth because my mom and them ain't raised me like that.
Let's talk about it.
Going up them steps.
On up or in the basement, go in this kitty area, something. Yeah. Yeah.
Because my thing is this, right? People always say, well, I ain't going to raise my kids like my mom and my dad raised me. What you do for a living? Oh, I'm a nurse. Well, what the? Can I cuss on here?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, all right. So what the fuck did they do that was so wrong? You a whole fucking nurse. I'm a convicted felon, and my mom, my pop was excellent. But what did they do that was so wrong? They beat your ass. You needed an ass whipping.
Right.
We get so caught up in not doing that, but listen to this here, right? You don't disrespect your mom, but your son don't respect you at all. Your daughter don't respect you at all. But you ain't gonna do what your mom and your dad did. But what they did do was install fear. I'm 48, get ready to turn 49.
Why you nodding your head so hard? You like, yeah.
Fear instilled in me. It works.
Listen.
It worked, right?
Listen.
It works. You don't have to beat your child, but they need to know that you're not playing with them.
Right. Listen.
They suspended my daughter from school 2 weeks ago, right? She had what they call the knife thing on the keychain, the little one, the little blue one, you know, because she worked out Fairmount Park at night. The knife. So they suspended her from school. It was 1 day. Then when we go up the next day, it's for 3 days. Then we go back for the third day. They telling us that she has to have a disciplinary hearing, right? So when I go back for the disciplinary hearing, when I walk into the room where the 3 teachers is at, the one teacher turns and looks and trying to look behind me to see where her mother was at, right? But at the time, her mother was at work, and I was here. But I said to the teacher at the end, I said, listen, you did all that, but I'm the first person they call on anything school with my kids because I'm the one that's in the streets all day, and I get to the school the quickest.
Right.
So we go through it, and I tell him, I said, my daughter been going to this school for 6 years. None of y'all know her. She's got A's, B's, C's, 4 D's, nothing else. In 6 years, that's what our report cards look like. All A's, B's, 4 D's. That's what I remember, the 4 D's, because they was going to talk shit. So I said, this is not a problem child. So when do you say on an instance, this ain't a problem child, let me do case by case? Because you just gave my daughter a disciplinary action, and she trying to go to Central next year. So what you trying to stop my baby from pursuing her dream? Negative. So after I talk with a calm head, like an intelligent black man, the black vice principal gonna walk me outside when I'm leaving. He said, man, most fathers come in here and they snap out and they get nothing accomplished. He said, man, you talk like you've been to college. I said, I have. SCI Green. State Correctional Institution. Sitting up there dealing with them white people all day. You learn how to talk with some manners when you in front of some people that can change your life. You didn't think I would do that type of stuff, huh?
Listen. This is why I don't judge a book, and this is why I love to have people just come and sit at this panel and open up and talk about real shit, because we all have gone through some things and we all have a story, and it just amazes me when people get up here and feel comfortable. So I appreciate you for even being comfortable enough at the spur of the moment. Like, it's not like I expected you to be here on the show. So I really appreciate you for even sharing that light. But what I'm going to do is segue now. And then we're going to start really talking about some other topics where we can just bounce back and forth off each other's ideas. But I want to introduce my son, or you can introduce yourself. I'm just honored to have my other child on the oldest of my 4 clan on my show.
Happy to be here, Barbara.
Thank you for blessing me. I'm glad that you were able to squeeze me in. I know he's trying to spread himself so thin amongst his family before he heads back to LA. So tell the people who you are, what you do. What do you do? Like, who are you?
So I'm RJ. My name's Randall. I'm a junior, so that's where the RJ comes from. And I mean, yeah, I'm from Philly, from the county. Grew up in Upper Darby, East Lansdowne area. Ever since a kid, we have like some talented people in our family, so that entertainment and just like being in that whole world was always something I loved. I'm probably sure I've told people before, but we had a cousin named Bilal, soulful singer. Very early on, I would go to some of his video sets. Never got the chance to be in one. I wanted to, but I was around it, and I was always like, "Yo, this is dope! Like, I want to find out more. I want to learn more about it." So I've always had a supportive system. My pops was like, "All right, well, let's start coming around a little bit more." And then when this beautiful young lady came into my life, she just was like just the best support system. Whatever we wanted to do in our household, as long as, you know, as long as we had good grades,
The grades.
took care of the crib, did your chores, made sure everything was tight. It didn't matter. Whatever we wanted to do, they would support it. So that's kind of really where like a lot of that like early support came from. That like made me want to go to school and figure out what I could go to school for, because I wasn't a big school dude. Like,
Oh my God, yeah.
I wasn't.
So for all you kids
So
out there that's like
was-
bad
oh
kids
my
in
gosh.
school, like
Yeah, no.
we had to go up there a lot.
I was a problem kid.
A lot, like a lot.
We all were.
But
horrible.
Yeah.
listen, I'm so proud of him because he ended up graduating from Clark, Atlanta.
Yes, sir. So I wound up heading to Atlanta. I heard that like that was where the music scene was happening. The Migos was just getting started out. Uzi, so I wound up getting an internship at one of the music studios. So I'm in there just hustling, figuring out what's my thing, because you know when you in there, it's just so many things happening. You can get lost just cleaning up after people all day. That could just be it. But I knew, I'm like, all right, I got to figure something else out. Yeah, I need some bread. So like, what's gonna be my thing? So then I started to just help connect the artists with the radio station in the city, because I had an internship at the time at iHeartRadio. So now I'm making myself useful for these people. So I'm like, all right, you know, if y'all want to bring your artists through, I'm gonna help you be able to bring them up to iHeart. So then that's when everybody's like, oh, okay, this kid, like, you know, I wasn't really getting paid much for it, but that's how I was starting to build the relationships. So yeah, after that, it just was go time. Everything just all aligned. Met my first boss, who I went and worked at this agency in PR, which public relations, and helping like to book talent and doing that whole nine, and it's been a whirlwind. It just took off. I just started working nonstop, and it just hasn't stopped yet. So
Okay.
I'm blessed, and yeah, it's been a great journey.
So as far as like, you know, inquiring minds want to know,
Yeah.
what's kind of caliber of people do you work with? Are there any familiar names?
So one of the main girls was a rapper named Sweetie, and at the time she only had this one record, My Type. Yeah, that's my type. Hey, figures. Yeah, that's, I don't know if they know the record, but it was a big record. She's a collie. She's from Oakland, and it was at the beginning of her career. It was the beginning of mine, and she just looked at me and was like, "Listen, you around us, so like I'm gonna trust you." Like they obviously paired us together because they feel like, you know, you have something, you see something in me, you have a like vision, so I'm gonna trust in you, and like let's do it. And she was like, let's just take it all the way, and I was like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Smart kid. You were always a smart
And
kid.
figuring it out, we did. So yeah, like Sweetie, G Herbo, I had the pleasure of working with. Oh, Lori now, yeah, Lori Harvey. I'm thinking more of the music people, but yeah, just a other executives. Started working with them as well. So yeah, it's just.
And who do you
Grow and
work?
grow.
Who do you work for as of now? Like, who do you work for?
Oh, and now currently, I recently, a few months ago, started at Epic Records too. So I'm at a music label now, and we have a roster of over like 50, 60 artists.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a lot of work. They keeping
Hey,
me busy, and
Hey, that's
they
what
definitely,
successful people do. They work hard.
yeah, man. So it's crazy. Every day is something different. I'm working. It's nerve wracking being in the corporate world for the first time, and just being a black man and having that confidence every day to go in there with being one of three in the room and a man. So it's challenging, but it's very rewarding, and I wouldn't change it. So
Yeah.
it's dope though.
Like, listen, I want to say the same thing I said about DJ. Like, who freaking raised these kids? Who raised them? Like, yo, I have the dopest kids, yo. the dopest. Like, and I've always been their biggest cheerleader or
Always.
one of. But listen, like,
Kids are very driven these days.
I just adore
But
them.
because of the support system, like she always came in the house and was like, "Listen, I don't care what y'all want to do, but you got to do something." Like that's
Yeah.
so.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
I
Like,
just
not
felt like
sitting
a
in the crib.
bored kid was a recipe for disaster. I had too many examples around me of kids who didn't have this support that I had.
Yeah.
And I fell victim to being a kid that was attracted to the nonsense, because there was no reason why I shouldn't have been somewhere on TV, in film. I was
'Cause you were
dancing,
doing it right.
acting, singing.
Yeah,
I was
that's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
studio. I had opened up for people. I had been on MTV. I was doing stuff. Then I
Yeah.
just decided to hang with the wrong group of people and decided that that lifestyle was more appealing. So it was like I really had no one to blame at one point in my life. You know, I had dreams, goals, and aspirations, and I knew how important that was to me. No matter what I did, I had kids young, I was a young mom, but I always had that passion for something.
Right.
So that's what I will always preach to my kids is like, listen, I don't want to carve your life out for you. I don't want
Right.
to tell you what I want you to become. I want you to tell me what you love.
Yeah.
What do you not mind getting up every day and doing
Mhm.
for the rest? I don't care what it is. It could be collecting stamps. I don't care
Right.
what it is. This young man has gotten DJ equipment at one point. He wanted to be a DJ.
They supported that.
Like
How long did it last?
a week.
Them the worst ones,
He
though.
did one party and was done with it.
Them the worst ones.
Once again,
He did one party and
the
was done with
party
it.
was our family's. What was it? One of our family member proms. Uncle BJ.
It-
Oh no, that was
No, it was
Mel,
eighth
Melon.
grade. It was the
was
eighth
Brooke.
grade. Najla's and Dame's eighth grade graduation. Oh yeah, and then you did
Oh, I had
somebody's
two. I had 2
prom.
gigs.
So you had 2 gigs, 2 weeks,
In 1 week? Oh,
2 weeks, back to back.
I'm about to say, how you get 2 jobs in 1 week and quit?
Right. But what I will say about
That's
this
funny.
young man is that he was just eager to want to do something. His first job, he had to volunteer. And he
Yeah,
was
what was
so
that?
mad at us at first that he had to work his first year at the rec center, Mill Creek Rec Center, and not get
Shout out
paid.
to Miss Jamila.
But shout out to Miss Jamila. She is
was
still
dope.
doing things in the city at the rec center, still holding it down for our kids
That's
in
the
the
one off of Willen
community.
Avenue, right? Grace Ferry Bridge, when you come over. Is that Mill Creek?
No, Mill Creek is like Brown, 47th.
Oh, West Philly.
And yeah.
West Philly.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because my uncle's shop. kinda close
Yeah.
by.
So like that he was out of all the kids, he was the one who was like, I want to work. I want to do this. He was always helpful in the house. So he was like that little busy bee kid that just had to do stuff, had to help out, had to have his first car, just super, super driven. And I remember seeing the spark in you when you discovered your talent for writing
Yeah.
and journalism.
Yep.
And shout out to God,
What Culinary? But that's not her name anymore. She
Kelly
Kelly Culinary.
Yeah.
She has a new name.
Kells. She's the
Kells.
like
She got remarried.
phenomenal educator. And this is another thing that matters, people. Your teachers matter. Teachers matter. This teacher was so amazing with Randall and ended up having my youngest
sister,
child
yeah.
and was so amazing and so influential in my and I have had other teachers with all my kids. Every child, there's a teacher that I had their personal cell phone. We connected.
Right.
They followed my kids from elementary through high school or daycare. You know, you got to make those connections with your teachers. That's your village. Those people are with your children probably more hours of the day than you are, because
real.
once you get home and feed them, it's time for bed. The routine is over. There isn't much connecting going on sometimes at home because people are busy.
And then these kids stay in their room so much. You
Right.
on the phone, on the game, you be like,
All day.
Ain't no game night.
you looking around, you like, where the kid at? You walk up in the room, they just sitting in the room.
Families don't even eat dinner at the same time every night anymore.
Yeah, that's lost.
Crazy.
You know,
We
so
used
but
to.
we did that.
We
Like,
did
and
it.
it's crazy. Like, you know, we did that. You know, and that felt good to be able to say that, you know, they had that experience of a 2-parent household, of that consistency, even when they resisted it. They didn't always like it. Like, that's a part of life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now that they're adults, they realize how much
So
it
grateful
benefited
for
them.
it. Exactly.
Because my 2 oldest children they're out of the house. They're on their own. They're self-sufficient. They have not looked back. And they're both grown. And then my 18-year-old is in the Navy right now. So we have one last one to go.
How did you feel about that trip to the Navy?
I know.
I was shitting bricks. Sometimes I still shit a stone or two.
I don't want my kids in the military.
Huh?
I don't want my kids in the military.
Listen, I felt as strongly as you did, right? But this is what I also had to swallow, is that I teach my kids to make decisions for their life.
Right.
And that was his decision. That was his choice. He was so excited about it. That was all he was focused on. And with all that was going on around my son, hearing the violence, knowing children that were getting shot and killed, classmates that weren't coming back, you know, people that he knew personally getting killed every day. It was ridiculous. It was like numbing to him at one point.
Right.
And he is that kid that didn't mind sitting in his room and playing a video game. But something hit him once he was graduating from high school. And shout out to his village, his friends. Because that's another thing that matters. Little Randall picked a good group of friends. Deshaun picked a good group of friends. So far, I feel like all of my kids, they know how to cling to a pretty good group of friends that'll influence you, hopefully, to stay on the right path. Even if you stray a little bit, you always got those group of friends that you can get right back on the right path with.
Right.
And my son had a friend who graduated a year before him who went into the Marines, but his goal was to be a neurosurgeon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And him and this boy are like this. So now Deshaun is that kid graduating. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't want to go to college. He used to play ball. Ball was no longer the option. And I feel like as a young man turning into a man in that moment, graduating, he realized, listen, I got to do something. And this is what I need to do. So he's going into the Navy and he wants to take up electrical engineering. Having that conversation with my son on the podcast, and even in between, because I've always been like super communicative kind of with them. I'm making that up. That's a new word.
Yeah, you did make that up.
Yeah, I'm making that up.
I was sitting there shaking my head, but I was really like,
no. I meant that exactly how I said it. So, like, because I just always wanted my kids to be able to express themselves. Now, the flip side of that is I'm going to express myself too. You might not always like what's coming on the back end, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be, and I'm always going to have your best interest, even if you don't like what I have to say, even if you don't like my point of view. And I'm always going to be fair too, as far as my kids are concerned. I'm always going to try to be fair. And that's something that my mom taught me. My mom, I used to look at her as like a little bit of a rebel out of all of her siblings, because she was the one that was like, Kravitz, it's a family affair. And Cody, hey, Cody. Listen, CME Morning Show, shout out to County Kravitz. He just walked and stepped in the building. Listen, I want to dive into some like topics, right? Because I kind of had a conversation, and I'm a Cancer, so.
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. When
too.
you're
March 9th.
March 18th.
Next week.
See that?
Pisces of the building.
Good
You know this conversation get ready to get deep.
Listen, I love it.
Talk about it.
My oldest daughter is a Pisces too, March 2nd. Shout out to Pisces.
I'm waiting for the conversation. I love it.
Listen.
Pisces
So
and Cancers have good energy too.
because we're what are we? Water signs?
Yeah, water signs.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that. I just know I'm a Pisces.
Right, and you're proud of it.
I don't know nothing about the.
I'm a Cancer.
People
I'm
be
proud
like,
of it.
Oh yeah, you act like a Pisces. I'll be like,
No, I'm a straight up Cancer. I'm a crybaby. I will cry at the drop of a dime.
I've got real emotional over the years. Every time I be watching TV, my wife will look over and say, "You crying?" Oh,
Some of y'all eyelash.
The weed smoke got my eyes burning or something. I ain't crying. I got real sensitive as I got older. Things I'm seeing on TV, I'm just crying. Like, why am I crying so much?
Because we getting older and we know how short life is.
I had to ask her if she
precious
slipped me
is.
some hormone pills or something. I'm in here crying all the time.
Now, do men go through menopause?
I feel like I'm really going. I'm 48, getting ready to turn 49 in March, and I feel like I'm in a stage in my life right now where
Do men?
things ain't right.
I feel like it's only right because you guys got hormones too.
Yeah, I think
So
Yeah.
y'all stuff got to get out of whack
It's
after
not-
coming from the young nigga over here in the corner, shaking his head. No, shut up. You're not even old enough to know about going through no menopause yet.
What did he say? He married?
He gonna say marriage
Marriage
is.
is
He's so
menopause.
controversial.
Listen, marriage brings on a lot of stress. I just want to say that right now, right? And that can be a onset to menopause because it makes you pause a lot. Marriage makes you
Oh
pause
my
a lot.
God. Oh my
You know
God.
what I mean? Every minute you thinking about you being married, you got to pause. Oh, I can't do that. I'm married. Menopause. Men will pause. Menopause.
That's hilarious.
Thank you. I need that. I'm using that. You know what? I'm going through menopause. Why? Because menopause. Every time your wife or your girl walk in the room, what you do? And then you got to look around. You got to look around like, oh, all right, I ain't doing nothing. Hey, baby.
When they say stuff like, you know what today is? Pause.
Menopause.
You know what, Kravitz?
Anniversary?
I'm gonna make you get a mic. You gonna have to get a mic.
Yo,
Go get a mic, Kravitz.
I'm trying to tell you, yo.
Yeah, because you know he got something smart to say.
Listen.
Listen, this is the last episode for me of this year, y'all.
Wow.
I am just like so excited. What better way to go out
Go out with a
than to
bang.
have all this energy? Like, yo, I'm like fired the freak up right now.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, this end of this year gonna be amazing. Walking into the next year, all I can see is greatness for myself. I don't
Right.
got no beef with nobody.
Mm,
I ain't mad at nobody no more. Like, I'm good. Have a good
Right.
life, please.
right.
Walking
right.
in next year with some happiness. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I did say I feel like I've been a person that's, and I don't know if y'all can relate to this, and I hope so, that I make decisions based on what I think others are going to say or think, right? So I want to channel a more free-spirited mindset. Even though I seem to be like that to people who know me, they might think that I am, but I feel like I want to be more just like my authentic self. Like I worry too much about all the other stuff. And I've done that, I feel like, all my life. Like, oh, I shouldn't say or do that. I shouldn't wear this, Now, sometimes I'll get, like, I don't know. It's weird because to know me, you might think that I'm this, person all the time. But no, I feel like a lot of times my assumption of what others might say or think or do will guide my steps sometimes.
So for me, when I was incarcerated, right? And I was thinking about all the reasons I was incarcerated, mainly all my reasons for myself, for what I did to get incarcerated, because I had to do a self-evaluation, right? And after I got to the meat of everything, all my issues, and I started looking at it like the weird stuff, the real weird stuff, not to use the word weird when it ain't necessary, the weird stuff that I was doing, like worrying about the public opinion, right? But I'm in jail, and none of that public sent me anything. My family sent it to me. I was worried about the wrong stuff. Like worrying about what people that don't have nothing to do with your happiness, what they think. Like, if they're not trying to make your life the best part of your life,
Right.
what do you care? Like, I would walk out the house with the, listen, our Caucasian counterparts have it to a T. They will walk out the house looking like they don't have a dollar to their name.
Yes, they do.
And be sitting there with 200, 300, 400 million
Yeah.
in the bank somewhere.
Yeah.
And you like, look at him, his broke ass, and he up.
Up.
And you broke.
Broke. Looking like $1 million broke.
Gas company that sent you 3 notices. You like, damn, is it December 12th? I can slide through for the rest of the winter.
Right.
That's because what defines their wealth doesn't define our wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So, like, being fly doesn't matter to them. It matters to us. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So, like, even if you are, like, one of us and you want to break out of, like, I'm to be fly thing, it's still, like, hard not to be fly.
Because you
Like,
know,
we're just fly people.
'cause
I
you-
just think we're just, like, you know what I mean? Like,
because of the grief.
even when we naked, we fly.
I'm screaming.
You know what I'm saying? It's a way we just shaped. We just fly.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
It's because they broke us. See, here's the thing, right?
Go speak on that.
People be saying we are egotistical as African Americans, right? It's because y'all did everything y'all could to break us for so many years.
Right.
And now that we know our greatness, right? And if our younger brothers could only wake up and realize that them guns that they using them for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Hold that joint until this apocalypse come. Because I believe the Walking Dead is coming. They ain't
It's
gonna
here.
keep showing.
It's already in Kensington.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the real shit, the zombies, like the shit that the COVID. No, I don't go out Kensington. Ain't nothing out there for me. What's South Kensington?
You know
I
the
see it on the
Walking
news
Dead-
every morning.
The Walking Dead is out there.
No, I'm talking about the ones that's gonna bite you and change you. They trying to rob you. They want that dope. No, but I really believe that they show us what they think they like. So listen, they did the COVID thing, right? And then they made us vaccinate ourselves, right? I didn't vaccinate myself. But they want you to vaccinate. Every movie I've ever watched, the shit turned when you got vaccinated. Right. So here you come, this shit killing everybody, and you telling me to take it. No, I passed. Well, you can't work no more. No problem. I wasn't really working anyway.
Yo, the problem right now, the Matrix is glitching because people know that we're in the Matrix, and multiple people are trying to get out. So because multiple people are aware and they're trying to get out, the Matrix itself is glitching. That's why it's not snowing over here, and it's about to snow in California like crazy. Everything's glitching. It's a big glitch in our Matrix. I'm telling you. What's
the show called? It's called La Bamba or something. It's a TV show on one of them. I watched it on Paramount or Peacock. It's about the world, and they dropping down back to BC, and that's I think that. Back to before Christ. That's lit. Yo, listen. I was trying to go back when Moses went up on the top of the mountain with the burning bush. Because I got a theory about that bush that was burning up there.
What's your theory?
I don't believe Moses saw a bush burning.
What did he see?
He ain't see shit. He smelt it. He was down the bottom of the hill. He was like, Lord, Lord, is that thy there great bush burning? I shall walketh up the mountain. And he got up there. You know he was up there getting high. He came down with 10 commandments. That's some high shit. You have to be high as shit up on the top of the motherfucking mountain.
Oh my God.
To come down with 10 rules.
Everybody in the Bible was high. They was all high off psychedelics.
Listen, the 12 disciples was the greatest men to ever walk the earth. Jesus hung with niggas like me.
They was comedians. They was
thieves, con men, backstabbers. Shit, I can walk out the door and find 5 of them.
Walk out the door, you got them right here.
No, I ain't gonna say they right here in the room. I'm gonna give a room the credit. I'm gonna give a room the credit. She gonna look over her. She over there looking at her like, I know you wasn't over here looking at me. Don't make me get up here. We ain't fought since the reunion in '72. She said, nah, we ain't never fought. I don't even do that with my sisters. You got me effed up. No, for real though. I'm sorry. I'm bipolar. No, I mean I'm not really bipolar, but that's how you. You only knew me for 17 minutes. The nerve of you to judge me. I'm just messing with you.
She feels more connected to you.
Listen, we. She gonna say, how old is you? I'm only 48. I said 50. She's talking about you too old.
Shout out to my mom.
Listen, when you get around good black people, they make you feel so comfortable. This is the village mentality right here, right? I told somebody, I said, man, I've rarely ever met somebody's mother or grandmother or auntie in that household, and they ain't love me. Cause you telling me outside, man, don't go in there like you all my grandmama and them, they don't be feeling that shit. Man, nigga, if you don't get the fuck out, man. I got a grandma.
Right, I know how to act.
I know how to talk to grandma.
I know how to act.
What she say? She said, that's my mom. What I say? Hey, baby. You gotta hit them with the old people, you know. I said, hey, baby. How you doing? Give me a hug, baby. We folks, baby. We folks. See, real black people, when you let them know that you come in with love, they come in with love.
Yeah.
I come in peace. Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, mamas.
Yeah.
I ain't your mamas. Well, hey, baby. Menopause.
Menopause. That was perfect.
Oh my God.
Menopause.
He's ready.
This is why I love my village, y'all. This is why I love this platform and I love this show. Shout out to Glockaware. Shout out to my big bro.
Yeah, shout out
for
to Glockaware.
providing this platform for us to be able to do what we do. Go ahead, give him another shout out.
Follow the Drip concert, January 8th. Yeah, I mean, I ain't reading all these names on the back.
No,
Go on Glockaware page and you'll find it. Hip hop on deck. Go anywhere that got anything to do with Glockaware, you'll find
You
it. Because
gonna
this is
find
the
the ticket.
supporting this group of people I know. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I had a podcast, I don't know if I'd be talking about your podcast. But now that I've met you and I've sat with you and you've let me on your podcast, I'd be like, you know what? You got to go over there. You got to check out her podcast.
Shout me out.
Because that breathing exercise that you did at the beginning was very beautiful. I must say.
You.
I was like, this is bullshit. Then I was like,
Oh, you almost fell asleep.
I had to open my eyes and say, what you doing over there?
God.
I had to check my pockets.
Listen.
Make sure she, yo.
I'm like, hold up.
I had my singing bowl one day. He's a mess, and I had my singing bowl. He gonna say, that remind me too much. Get out. But
oh yeah. You can't do. You ain't gonna be tapping on shit.
it was a singing bowl.
She gonna be tapping on shit though.
Yeah. I promise you, he almost fell asleep. He had to catch himself. But real talk, I do that for a living. Like, I'm a certified yoga instructor. That is the foundation of where this podcast kind of came from, because I talk to my members every morning that come to my class, and they always give me feedback on how the class made them feel afterwards, how the meditation was, the affirmation, or whatever. I've had people come up to me in tears after my class. So it was like, wow, this seems like this is getting to be bigger than me. Now I have a responsibility to really show up for these people and produce. But I got into yoga 12 years ago for my own mental health, and I've been practicing ever since I decided to get certified. But my goal is to educate people on the benefit of yoga and meditation, breath work, just learning how to breathe, in moments of crisis and having anxiety and panic attacks. And a lot of us Black people feel like we're supposed to just, live through that stuff. Just keep getting up and staying in that. Like, no, we don't have to stay in stuff, and we don't always have to seek, prescribed medications for things. Not that I'm against it. However, and I'm not against marijuana either.
I'm for it. That's why I went and got a medicinal marijuana card.
I'm not against weed either. I'm an advocate for that. But I just, aside from that, like in a moment of whatever, you might not be able to light up something, and you just need to learn how to breathe and calm yourself down. And I don't sometimes fall short, because yesterday, I wanted to beat up the meter maid. I got off my yoga mat, forget namaste. All of it was a done deal. I was living. I forgot everything, all of my principles.
Why'd you want to fight the meter maid?
I wanted to fuck him up. Period.
So, hold up, the men call meter maids.
What did
the
he
men
do?
call meter maids too?
Meter.
Meter maid, meter hater.
What did he do?
So I'm with my mom, with my daughters, and my niece. Got the van. I park in the handicap spot. Boom. We get out. I go to pay the meter. The man is walking past me. I'm getting out. He watches me get up. We cross paths. We could have bumped shoulders. He sees me walk a half a block down the street, because that's where the kiosk was. It wasn't nowhere near the van. I had to walk in the middle of the block to get to the kiosk. This fucker stands behind the van, and while I'm paying for my parking space, he gives me a ticket unbeknownst to me. So I get back to the van, and I'm like, oh. He's like, this isn't a parking spot. I'm like, why isn't it? He said, because it's handicapped. I said, well, I have a handicap. He said, well, it's not on your license plate. I said, oh. I said, well, I have a placard. Well, I didn't see it in the window. I said, sir, I said, you watched me get out of this, like literally our paths crossed. Just like you're telling me right now, before you even handed me this ticket, that this isn't a parking spot. You could have done that before you let me walk all the way down the block, since you decided to stand at the back of my van and watch me pay for this spot. You watched me, I was so livid, because it's not like you just handed me the ticket and made the assumption that I didn't have a handicap placard and just handed me the ticket and walked away. No, you proceeded to explain to me why I shouldn't be parked there. Why couldn't you do that before you gave me the ticket and you just watched me get out? Now, I could see you issuing me a ticket if I got out, parked in a handicap, never came back to put the placard on, never even paid the meter, and just went inside a store, and then I come out with a ticket.
Right.
That's on me.
I have a question. You know, I'm devil's advocate. Did you have your placard on the thing though?
I didn't have it on the mirror as of yet. I thought that there was a handicap logo on the license plate because there used to be.
That's deep. That's deep.
Because it used to be one on the plate.
Right.
So,
right.
You know what I mean? But it was so.
I like mom.
It was like
I
lost
Mom.
it.
Women of that generation that's accountability right there. She said, "I'm gonna take that." She said, "I'm gonna take that."
But no,
I like that.
Fuck
I like
him.
You.
Fuck accountability in this situation because of the simple fact
Mom,
that,
you real.
No.
I love that.
Fuck that.
See, me and your
because
mom
then
third.
don't
We
sit up here and tell me now why I shouldn't be parked here because now you done already gave me the ticket. Fuck it. I might as well stay parked here.
In his defense, did you get out and look for the sticker to confirm the sticker before you proceeded to go ahead and
all
start
of that is in fucking hindsight. I'm talking about at the end of the day. This is why I was mad. Yeah, I decree.
I'm just speaking. I'm in service. I'm in valet, right? I do valet, right? So a lot when men like pull up, right? Men will pull up and they'll wait for me to like come to their car, make sure they want to do valet, and then they'll ask me, "Hey, do you want me to leave my key in the car, or do you want me to give you my key?" Okay. Right? When women pull up, they pull up, get out, leave their keys in the car, and just be like, "Yo, my car." Da, 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 da. So I can kind of understand, you know, cause I kind of go through the same thing. I'll sit there and I had somebody's car got towed. They didn't say nothing to me. I'm not responsible for your car if I don't know. And she was upset. And I said, well, you never said nothing to me. You just got out your car, left your keys in the car.
I can understand that if I had went MIA, like I'm in your sight, sir. I never even went in a store.
No, that's why I asked though. That's why I asked the certain questions that I asked because I deal with. I understand. I get it.
And just took for granted, like if I just took for granted that was on the license plate and never paid the meter and just went inside the store and then came out and my van was towed, then that's on me. That's what I get. Because now I never even came back out. I never was out of this man's sight. You watched me get out. I don't even think my door was closed.
Yeah, he trying to make, you know.
Like, it was so...
He was proving his point. He proved
inconsiderate.
whatever point
and then,
he needed to prove.
Then, to add insult to injury, wants to fucking appease me by telling me, well, okay, listen, you could... You could. All you gotta do is fight it, and you can contest it. I snatched that ticket out of that man's hand.
You gonna pay this joint, or do you really? Look, cause look, him
all of that shit. I snatched that ticket out of that man's hand, and it took me everything to not punch him in the face.
Him doing that, and his brain is saying like, "Yo, do you like how you feel right now? The anger, the energy you got right now. Keep that same energy and fix the situation yourself." That's in his brains. That's what he's saying. Like, I wish
that I didn't have anything to lose, and I could have punched him in his face in that moment.
That should be like 1 every 200 people. Right.
She's just like this cool, mild-mannered chick, you know, laid back, watching, make sure she's...
Oh, you was out of character.
Yeah, because when I know someone's intentional about their actions, Nelly. That pisses me off. Like that pisses me off. Because you intentionally did that shit.
You don't want to see upset.
You intentionally did that shit.
Yeah, see, people that go like this. People that go like this, you don't mess with people like this. That shit's intentional.
Don't. Like, because it took me off my mat and off my meds. Like, now I'm just,
It's the hands.
Like, I take my meds that day. Like, I didn't have no devil's lettuce or none of that. Like,
I don't want no, it's not devil's lettuce.
Well, that's what my mom calls it. So
we can't call it the devil's lettuce anymore. It's not the devil's lettuce. Yeah, we got to rename it, baby. Yeah, we gotta rename that baby. Yeah, we gotta rename that. We gotta rename that. That's the devil's the devil's lettuce.
Devil's lettuce.
Oh yeah, no, we just gonna call it lettuce.
Devil's lettuce was taking people out of their character. wasn't giving us conversation
Ooh.
with our children.
I like
I
that.
would have never, when I was smoking the devil.
Oh, you
Right.
gotta get in the camera. You gotta get on the mic. You gotta grab the mic. Mom, hold on. You can't talk and get that deep and not be on.
Yeah, that was
in
deep.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and come on over. Slide on in. Slide all the way over.
No, you go.
All right, let's
there.
go.
I said before I came here like that, I wasn't gonna get on the camera.
I know. I knew you was
It's
gonna
all
get on.
You know what
good.
I'm saying? Like I couldn't even believe because I was there that she had never experienced. I've experienced that like 100 times in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, Mom to the rescue. Let me go outside and get my child.
Right.
Because we were going to jail. She was totally
I wanted to punch him in his
outside
face.
of her character like
Promise
I
you.
hadn't seen
Damn.
in
Promise you.
years.
Because it was
I've never
intentional.
seen you like. I've seen you upset, but I've never seen you like. "Arr."
I could burn a house down when I'm enraged.
I can see
Oh,
it
yeah,
because
I'm about to say.
you very like.
Because if I feel
Even-
like somebody's
even
intentionally trying to do something, like whatever it is, like that was so intentional, and just like like what if I really was like handicapped? Like, come on, like you could have. Handled that different, especially when you want to try to be this nice person when I come back after you've already given me the ticket. You could have said to me right then and there,
He works in a very stressful. That's a very stressful job.
No, it's more stressful to give
yelled at.
somebody the ticket
No,
and have somebody
just
want to
think
punch you
about
in the face than to say,
but think
Miss,
about it, think
hold
about
on, don't park here. Where are you going? And then I would have said, oh,
Now,
my bad.
Everybody who came over and tried to park their car, he'd have no job. It is his job.
To be an asshole and write tickets.
That, like, you know what I mean? Like,
And that's what I
I'm
told him.
saying.
So
Like,
don't
it's-
try to sit up here and act like whatever. You're an asshole.
You have to though. You have to
Well,
be an
guess
asshole
what?
to give somebody
Disclaimer.
a ticket. Like
Disclaimer.
Any
Fuck
job where
the
you have to
PPA.
discipline another grown
Fuck
person, you don't
the
know.
PPA. I'm,
have to
I'm
be an
banning y'all. Y'all are pieces
Right?
of shit. The PPA. And a lot of what y'all stand on is bullshit. Y'all charge people all these crazy
It's not-
fees to
it's the
park. It's
city.
fucking ridiculous. And whoever runs you, the city,
Yeah,
fuck
the city,
them too.
the city.
Fuck
that's
those
how the city
powers
get-
that be.
That's how they
Fuck
get
them
money.
too.
Right.
Fuck them.
That's
Because
how
that's
I mean-
ridiculous that you're gonna sit up here and have people pay for parking until midnight on South Street. Fuck you, PP people, parking people.
Great
That's
business.
fucking ridiculous.
See, some
Fuck
things,
you, parking
some
people.
things aren't.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is
Some things
smart.
are just like
It's ridiculous.
morally
No.
compromising. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's
Some
also
people just have
business.
shitty jobs. And I feel
You know what I
bad
mean?
for you people who work for a PPA in your shitty job.
But they get paid.
I
really
feel bad
well
for
to get
you.
treated like shit.
That you have to put up with that bullshit because that was a shitty thing to do. So if that's what they teach you in training is to how to be shitty, you've accomplished
well,
it.
not how to be shitty.
They've done a
Well,
great
yeah.
job in teaching you guys on
giving a
how to
ticket
be
to somebody,
shitty PPA people.
But
So anyway,
They
off
need
of them.
jobs.
Fuck them.
They need
Fuck them.
jobs.
Fuck them people.
It's like any service industry job is like, you know what I mean?
I provide a service every day, and I
But they
make
get
sure
paid
that
over
I
20
fucking
an hour
give
though.
people
They lit.
good,
Yeah,
great
PPA,
customer
they
fucking
start at
service.
$18.75 actually, and then after 3 months,
Doesn't
they go up
cost
to
anything to be
22
polite.
hours.
Do they gotta hit a quota? Like how many tickets they get?
Yeah, they got certain. I mean,
Yeah,
they
gotta
got
hit a
numbers and all
quota.
this.
That's
It's
why
like
they're
police.
shitty.
It's like police.
That's why it's a
It's
shitty
like the police.
job.
The police have a certain number of stops and things like that. They can't
'Cause
go
they
a
make
whole
people
month with
have
no
to do
stops.
shitty things.
You
to
ain't
people.
arrest nobody in Philly.
I tell you what,
You know what I mean? In your district.
learned in a situation such as that.
Yeah.
All
That's
you
not
need to
happening.
do is take
Crazy.
the ticket, read the back. They'll tell you what you need to do so you don't
Yeah.
have to pay for the ticket.
Yeah, I
was
still
shocked
just
'cause
wanted
I
him to
was
feel
with her
my.
last
I
night
wanted him to feel my
that
wrath.
you
He didn't really
didn't
feel it.
Know that.
No,
He
it's
used
not.
to it.
Didn't know what. I knew that.
Know that.
I knew that.
It ain't. Oh, you
That
know
ain't my first run-in with PPA. You think I'm out
Yeah,
here?
she knew
You
that.
think I'm? Do you
She
think
just
he
wanted
is
to
my
have a husband
first?
moment. That's all.
You
She
think
needed a
he is
husband
the
moment.
first parking
Yeah.
authority person that I cursed out? He is
Yeah.
not. He is not the first officer
That was
that
her
I have
tip- that was
cursed
her
out.
tipping-
He
tipping
is
point.
not.
He
He
was
is
on a
not the
tipping point.
first. Any.
They
I
met
will
each other
curse
at
you
the tipping
out if
points.
it's warranted. You got cursed out, and I'm
Now
not
we got-
apologizing
We
for it.
finally got to the bottom of
No.
it. They met each other at tipping points.
No.
He was at his tipping point for the day, and she was at her tipping point for the day, and they
Possibly.
both tipped each other
And
over.
that's it.
Don't push me.
I'm
Don't push me because we both close to the edge.
I'm trying not to lose my edge. And I did. And I don't regret it. It felt good to unleash on that
Look,
punk
as soon as
ass.
he wrote your
He's a
ticket, he
punk.
said, Wednesday, take this.
Yep.
You said, life, take this. And he said,
yep, that's how we was. Fucking, yeah, it was going down. It was going down.
Well, this how you fix it.
All I wanted him to do was say to write anything just so I can have a reason.
I want to fucking know how to fix it.
And I was just livid. Yeah,
Should've fucking did it in the
I
fucking
felt
first
amazing.
place.
I felt great. It felt good to curse him out. I wish I could have punched him in his
Sometimes
whole
you need to
entire
yell at
face.
people.
I think that's good.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Because some people just aren't deserving of my
Oh, yeah.
kindness either.
Sometimes, yeah.
Some people
sometimes
just
you
don't
need
deserve
to-
my
yeah.
kindness.
You're right.
And he didn't deserve my kindness in that moment. It was
feel
not a
that.
what would Jesus do moment. It wasn't a namaste moment. It was a fuck you moment. Because you said fuck me when you gave me this ticket and you just saw me get up. My sister's here. She's about to come on.
Now,
She's about to
real
get
fast,
on.
You said, what would Jesus do? You have to be more specific. What would Jesus do after 33? Because before
don't know.
33, he was that was a wild man. He was a wild man. You don't want to ask his judgment.
I
Trust that.
cannot.
we need 33
I'm
up,
not getting
Jesus.
struck
What would
down.
Jesus do after 33 years old?
Let me
That's
build
what we
my
need to.
force field.
You gotta be
right
more
now
specific, because
next
before
to this
33,
guy. Like,
that
for
man
real.
was bull.
I don't want
He
to
ain't have
down.
12 disciples because he was just 33 now. No, he had 12 disciples because they was running with him they was 10 toes for the last 12 years. You understand what I'm saying?
So they was a gang.
They knew, look,
He was the Godfather.
He came from a woman that had no sex. He was prodigy child boy from the rip, celebrity across the land, frankincense and myrrh. People from empires across the world came to see this baby that was born from a woman who said God impregnated me. What?
Oh,
He
my
was
God.
bull. He was like Northwest. He was like Blue Ivy. He was like Macaulay Culkin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus, baby Jesus was bull.
This is why this guy
Like,
has
he
his
was
own
bold.
show. This
Like,
is
you-
why he
what?
has his own show.
He went through his Orlando.
He
What's
has
the
to
boy
be
from That's So
stopped.
Raven?
You know,
What's the
I'm
boy from
stopping
that?
him now.
What's the boy from That's So Raven? He went through his Orlando Brown phase. And then 33, he said, you see, Lord, I need to come back home because shit getting crazy. What do I need to do? He said, you need to die. He said, fuck it. What? Hey, that's what it takes.
Move away
Fuck
from
it.
me.
Fuck it. Fuck it. And now we good. And now we
It's insane.
And now we good. And now we
He's
good.
insane.
And now we
Listen,
good.
You want more of his shenanigans?
Every
Tune
Monday,
into
Wednesday,
his
and
show.
Friday, man. See me.
CME Morning Show. Tune into his show. This guy is crazy.
Yeah, man. We talk
This is
crazy.
how I get stuck here because there's
Tomorrow
so many
morning-
great people here.
Tomorrow morning is going to be
going
absolutely crazy in
What's
the
going
morning.
down?
We
What's
got
going down?
bottles. We got everything going on tomorrow.
So you gonna have me
we're
calling out of
celebrating.
work?
Yeah, you're going to call out of work.
Oh,
We're
the
celebrating.
work, the
We're
work.
celebrating, you know what I'm saying, the new year, you know what I'm saying, before the new year get here, because all of these shows are the last shows
I
before
know,
the new
it's
year.
everybody's
You
last show
understand
for
what
the
I'm
new
saying?
year.
So we going to go out
So-
with a bang tomorrow at the See Me Morning Show, just like
And
we
then
going on a bang.
Friday-
9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Yeah, it's going
So we
down,
gonna
y'all.
be
It's
lit.
going
So we're
down.
going to be lit tomorrow morning, man.
Oh, I'm excited.
Just like we are now.
I didn't say that on the air. I'll be at work. No, I won't. Or no, but whatever. So listen,
Yeah.
son, let the people know where they can find you, where they can follow you, all that good stuff, who you are, and all
Across all platforms at RJ Darnell, DARNELL. Across everything. Facebook, Twitter.
Very professional. I like you, man.
Like you too, brother.
You're a good
Watch
guy.
the show.
You're a good guy, man.
I got to check this
Listen.
show out. I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah, it
It-
gets crazy.
all I can say is, people, just because I referred you to his show, do not. If he offends you in any way,
I don't
that
offend
ain't my
people.
fault.
I open minds.
he will offend you at
Open
some
minds.
point in time. I can guarantee it. If that is what you seek, he's the perfect host
Oh, you're gonna
for
love
you.
it. You're gonna love it.
If controversy and clutching your pearls is what you're looking for, especially early in the morning, he's the one for you. Him and his co-host,
the
Chef.
chef work aid. and Andre Brown.
Andre Brown. So listen, thank you everybody. Shout out to Feisty the comedian for blessing my show. That was amazing. You never know who's gonna pull up on my show. That's why it's called Thinking Outside the Box Village Conversations with none other than your girl Nelly. Listen, I had County Kravitz, my son RJ Darnell, Feisty the comedian. My sister's up next. Chick with the Juice, Loudmouth Podcast. Tune in. Don't go nowhere.
It's about to get real juicy, baby, up in this joint. You about to get real high up in this joint. It's a podcast, motherfuckers.